Hello everyone, and welcome to Fleet's Random Ramblings. Whoops, sorry. Force a habit. Hello everyone, and welcome to Fleet Plays Rule the Waves 3. Now, as I'm sure you're all aware, last time we had a few difficulties owing to the game basically breaking its own rules, which is a bit off-kilter, but the game decided to do it anyway. Which is one of those things where it just sort of happened. But luckily, I took a vote, and the audience decided that the Russian armored corps heroically counterattacked and pushed the Germans out of northern Russia and reclaimed the port for us. Which I'm very glad they did, because otherwise we'd be in serious trouble. Because you're not even supposed to be able to invade level 12 ports anyway. So it was a bit surprising that the German AI was able to get away with what a player would physically be unable to do. And so, without further ado, let's get back into Rule the Waves 3 once again. So the current situation. Things are not ideal. I think we're down a Gangert? Yes, sadly. She's interred. She's not dead, but she's down. We're down one battleship in Northern Europe. Two of the Admiral Gorshkovs have entered the fleet, and within a year we'll have two more. You've also got the Kronstadts working up, which is superior. The Admiral Gorshkovs and the Kronstadts are superior to any extant German capital ship. We've got the rebuilds of the Impatsaria Ekaterina coming out, which will help bolster the Baltic fleet even further. And in theory, if they can be driven out of the Baltic, we should be able to actually win a rather, well, at least a stalemate victory. Now, obviously, Japan's just sitting there waiting for me to stomp their teeth in with a sledgehammer. But what else is new? So, let's go forwards. And see what we... Ah, yes, of course the enemy's preparing to invade the Baltic states. I don't have the forces available to defend that. Even if I want to. Okay, we've got a good chunk of carriers, so that's something. And they are Russia's only full-size carriers. We've got Kuznetsov and Gorshkov, which are incredibly powerful capital ships. The problem is that Kuznetsov and Gorshkov are... It's one of those weird things where I really don't want to send them into action right now before the full 4 ships are in. Because the enemy will be bringing everything. 11 battleships, 2 battlecruisers, 7 armored... I don't have the forces in the Baltic to deal with this. However, a cruiser action, I might just be able to pull off. Just. Especially since these are the rebuild AA cruisers that we have in the Baltic. So they should be able to actually deal with most of the enemy forces and run from anything they can't deal with. And we've got submarines around on fleet support, because I can't really menace their trade. Unknown radar contact. Okay, increase speed to... Please don't let that be the German battle cruisers. Nope, it's the German armored cruisers, which is honestly kind of worse. Run! Yeah, go on, Zemchuk. Dodge the shell splashes. Come on, I believe. Okay, there we go. There we go. Everyone get in the port. Yeah, everyone get in the port. Let's just try and save our ships as best we can. There's not much else for them to find, and hopefully our submarines can do some damage. Like, maybe our aircraft can actually do some damage. Our submarines have torpedoed some things, which is good. I hope. Well, it's not ideal, but hopefully if our submarines are operating in the Baltic as effectively as they are, continuing the invasion of the Baltic states should be, in theory, impossible. If it's just a battleship engagement, I'm happy to take the Gorshkovs into that, but a full fleet action without the entirety of the Russian navy. Yep, so that's a destroyer sunk, which is a victory, which will help our forces win. No. No. Honestly, yep, I will seek what terms we can get. Okay. Oh, you son of a bitch. Revel and Kronstadt have been handed over to Japan. Admiral Kuznetsov is handed over to Japan. Admiral Gorshkov is handed over to Japan. Admiral Nakhimov is handed over to Japan. So we lost a bunch of ships and Southwest Africa. Which is honestly depressing. Honestly, I do. Well, we have some of our older ships still around, but that's not ideal, and we've lost basically all of our fast battleships. The Japanese basically nicked off with the entirety of the remaining Russian modern battle fleet and our 2 modern battle cruisers we just finished. The Germans nicked off with, I believe, one of the other ganguts that was left. But to be fair, though, rather that than a Russian revolution. And we lost Southwest Africa. Oh, okay. Big whoop. That's... As wars go, that's not the worst thing. It could have been much, much worse. Nizhny Novgorod and the Grangams are still around, but that's really not ideal. Ganget still exists. How much would it cost to build a new Ganget if we built her now? 3,000. How much do our... I wonder... Okay, I can get away with a sort of an emergency battleship that's basically an Admiral Gorshkov, but with that level of armor. Problem is, though, I'd be giving up a battle line of 4 20-inch guns. The treaty stung. Yeah, I fixed the state thing. Yeah, we lost our best units to the... And the thing is, they weren't even sunk. They were lost The Japanese got basically all of our modern battleships. But we were basically on the verge of a communist revolution. Knight, I'm not taking questions. This is not ramblings. So I also have no idea how I would answer that one. Yes, Montana, we sadly lost our best units. The Japanese got the lion's share, basically revitalizing their modern battle fleet. Although whether they could afford to operate them is suspect at best. They also got the 2 most valuable units, that being the Kronstadts. Germany got one of the Ganguts, and also one of our light carriers. Which is honestly kind of annoying. But we survived. And now we need to basically go through the building program once again. Nope, no sailing regattas. All money goes towards buying warships now. That's what you get, Germany. Okay. New heavy bomber. Medium bomber. Yep, that'll do. Okay. So that's the... yes, I will develop a light jet fighter. It will be it will focus on reliability and maneuverability. Okay. So, I was going to edit the Admiral Gorshkovs, but I think I will just build 2 more of them to bring them back up to... although then again, that being said... problem is, the increasing cost will actually start to affect them. So I think I will just build I'll just build a repeat Admiral Gorshkov. And for some reason, the ships can't install our best radar. I don't understand why that is. Tell you, I don't get it. Is it because they are ships with big guns? Is that why? Yeah, I just need a repeat. I just need that those 620-inch ships. Okay. Not now. Unfortunately, we're kind of running out of money. The economy took a hit after the war. No, I will punish him for being a spy for Japan. Let me drop the funding for spying, because, well, A, I don't need it, and B, it's probably crimping our... How can they be overweight? The original Admiral Gorshkovs weren't overweight. What the... I don't get it. Yes, I will sell to anyone who wants to buy in the Balkans. Look, we need the economics to rebuild the Russian fleet. I need my prestige back as well. Also, the German colonial empire is collapsing. I lost West Africa, basically. Southwest Africa. Which, you know, oh well. I've retained most of the valuable bits of the Russian Empire. The UK decolonized the... yes, we will push for an international force. Ha, sucks to be you, Germany. Yep, sorry folks, we lost our best units. Although, I'm just very lucky the Japanese didn't get Hokkaido back, which is something. Okay. I don't know how reliable it is, but which of these has the longest range? You do. The Yak 130, the light jet fighter. Yes, I will have one last generation of fighter aircraft, which will focus on speed and maneuverability over everything else. Okay. So we've still got those ships in the Baltic. The Ganguts are there. Admiral Gorshkovs have come into service. I'm half tempted to bring Gangut in for a rebuild and try and squeeze more speed out of her engines. Make her into a quasi-fast battleship for service in the Far East. In fact, actually, no. She will just... what I'll do is I will bring her in, rebuild her... rebuild her fire control, and then she will go out to the Far East. She would have been enough in the old days, but now with Japan rocking around with basically my fleet, Japan basically has the power now to win a war. against us. They've never had that power before, and now they do. I'm sorry, I need the money. There we go, new floatplane scout. Okay, I need the new Murmansk class. Ideally, I need 2 of them to be built. And then I want 2 more after that. There we go. Sevastopol's finished her reconstruction. No thank you, Austria. Okay, so now Gangut will make wake for the Far East. Along with the Sisoi Veliki class carriers, because they're supposed to give us the striking power we need to deal with the Japanese in Northeast Asia. Because the thing is, if they have that many battleships, they're gonna have to trim somewhere, and I think it's their carrier fleet that's gonna suffer. Depends, though, how much money they have for the fleet. Yeah. Most of the other people do have a larger fleet than me, but they have very little budget for construction, whereas I actually have budget for construction. So my capital ships will be incredibly modern, fast units. Although, what I might consider... I might think... Just had a thought. That does make sense. But it's not quite what I want. Nope, not that either. Nope, not that. No, come on, give me something that's not that. That kind of works. That's got a mixed battery. I don't want that. Good lord. No, thank you. Nope. No. No, it's giving me conventional battlecruiser designs that are not what I want. Let me just see something real quick. So, the Kerch class. So these are these ships. So what if I... See, I have a cursed idea here. Well, you see, I need a new class of battlecruiser. Maybe that's too much gun. 4 quads may be too much gun. Yeah, 4 quads may be too much gun. Might be, yeah. Tell you what if I go forward, aft, forward, quad, and give me an auto design based off of that. Oh wait, hang on, I've got the perfect ships for adaptation. The Nizhny Novgorods. If they carry quad 12s on about 25,000 tons, with a 12-inch armor layout, yeah, there we go. With radar directed 20mm Bofors guns, Probably don't even need light AA, because we don't have Sea-Whiz mounts. And then which means actually that works quite well. And they're much cheaper, actually they're not much cheaper to build than full-size battle cruisers at that point. Ooh. There we go. That works quite well. More than 8 radar directed medium air mounts is somewhat excessive. Oh no! I'm aware! I have seen what happens if you don't have enough radar directed AA. Hang on, what if... Ooh, that's a thought. No, that's not really ideal. Do we keep building full-size battle cruisers, or do we downsize? I think we stick with what we've got currently. Although I do need to bring the Grengams in for another rebuild at some point. They're starting to show their age a little bit. But we should be okay, and I need this many medium AA guns basically in order to counter the Japanese carrier threat in the Far East. That is not a battleship, thank you. No, it is not a battleship, it is still a battle cruiser. Please do not reclassify my ships without my say-so. Thank you. The Grengams were supposed to be gone. The territory is of vital strategic importance. Please do not release Hainan. It also massively boosts our economy, so please do not. Okay, let me find our most incompetent admiral and send him. I have a brilliant captain who's not in command of any ships. Oh god, you command one of our best battle cruisers. No! Go away! Yeah, well, I mean, on the plus, yes. Please, hawkish government, massively raise world tensions, because it means I can build more ships now. So, probably I want... Can I build another set of... Can I actually get a third turret of triple? No, I cannot. In that case, then, I will just, instead, I will build Kirches that are basically repeats, apart from improved radar limit and radar directed. Oh, that's a bit... Yeah, that's not really what we need. So I'll drop the light AA guns down to 20 pieces and medium AA down to 21 pieces. And this will be the Admiral Isakov class battle cruisers. I basically want to lay down 2 of them. No, no, Hokkaido is something that we took in the first part of our history. It belongs to us. If we release Hokkaido, Japan will march in and take it back. I have not fought 4 Russo-Japanese wars to see His Imperial Majesty the Tsar give up Hokkaido. No, says I. You know what? I will give you half that many cruisers. There we go. Yep. And now we'll lay down 2 of those. Thank you very much. Because again, it's all about getting the next generation of Russian capital ships into the fleet. Because Germany has a lot of ships, but most of them are their treaty-era designs. In terms of modern units, we're rapidly catching the German fleet. The Japanese fleet is basically just being held up now by Russian ships. And they haven't built anything new. The United States, ooh, what's that? Vermont. The only other ship in the world that carries guns larger than 17 inches. Looks like she was just finished last year. That's a terrifying concept. I can do better than that. The Italians have clearly built fast battle cruisers and have sort of left the dreadnought behind. The Spanish seem to have embraced their treaty ships as basically the only battleships they're going to own, and are instead looking to build fast cruisers instead. They want 8 light cruisers. Okay, alright. To be fair, I have been wanting to design and build a new class of anti-aircraft cruiser. So, that's not really a problem. Auto-loading 3-inch AA guns. Yes, please! Okay, so... No, we don't need you to carry mines, because you're an anti-aircraft cruiser. I think I'll make you 5,000 tons, that'll work. Deck and everything else is fine. You're supposed to be an anti-aircraft cruiser anyway, so that's not really too much of an issue. There we go. And properly good radar limit. Drop the radar directors by 2. There we go, that's fine. 3-inch guns, which are auto-loading. That'll really help us chew through enemy air attacks. I'm half tempted to see if I can get triple 3-inch auto-loaders as the primary armament. It'd be funny if I could. Oh, I can... do we have gas turbines yet? No. If I give it diesel engines, it would actually be even faster. Nope, I'm a steam purist. I'm a steam engine purist. Besides, diesels are unreliable and they don't work. There we go. Now is the time, actually, to get some prestige and lower the tension a bit. Oh, wow! Surface-to-surface missiles. New light jet fighters entering across the fleet. Can the Sisoi Velikis handle them, I wonder? Can they handle... jet fighters? Yes, they can. Why are they over capacity? They're not over capacity. Oh, modified for aircraft size. Oh. Okay, let me drop the number of normal fighters down to about 5. No, we can have more than that. 7? Oh, no, 6. Okay, so no, it does have to be 5. Okay, so 5. Then you need to be 5. You need to be 5. This will help us get 1 up over on the Japanese. So that'll be helpful. There we go. There we go. And then same thing here. There we go. Jet aircraft have entered the Russian Imperial Navy, folks. Okay, what have we got? 2-inch deck. Go up and also... Yeah, 20 radar. Yeah, of course! Yes, that is. Give up Hokkaido fleet. It will fall to the Japanese no matter what you do because their reinforcements are faster than yours. Knight, I've already denied it to them. I've already denied it to them 3 times in the 3 Russo-Japanese wars, and then they just didn't take it in the 4th, instead preferring to get capital ships off me. I will never give up Hokkaido. Never. Oh, yes, please. Okay, when is the... okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. Halt the Kerch-class battle cruisers. And I will use that spare money to lay down the 8 AA cruisers I need to make the top brass happy. Germany, I get you're a fascist nation run by presumably Adolf Hitler, but international force, thwart their expansionist plans. The rebellion in Hokkaido continues. Look, the Japanese would only oppress you. You're not even Japanese citizens. You're Ainu, which is not Japanese. Stop trying to rebel. You're safer under Imperial Russia than you ever would be under Japan. Oh, nice. We have a jet medium bomber. That's hilarious. There we go. Review the cruiser program. No, thank you, Austria. I don't have time to build carriers. I need battleships. There we go. Improved cruisers. Let's halt the battlecruiser program for now. Just to give us the budget we need to finish. Yeah, resume one of the Kerch class. Just to keep our budget in the black. Yes. Beating the army has top priority. Oh, well, never mind. We won, but it wasn't really that spectacular. Okay, France and Japan are no longer allied. No, I cannot accept any cuts in the budget. Not when I'm trying to rebuild the fleet. The Imperial Russian Navy is being laughed at by the rest of the powers. I must pull ahead of the French and the Japanese. All the sailors of the Russian Imperial Navy have been betrayed by the government that wouldn't do what was necessary to crush Japanese separatism. That island has been part of Russia since 1895. And now they just return it to Japan without so much as a buy or leave? Night, Japan will be burnt to the ground under the guns of the Russian fleet for this travesty. That is Russian territory. It does not belong to Japan. And if I have to do another Russo-Japanese war to make them see it, so be it. Even if that means fighting the Reich at the same time. This time I'll be ready. This time I'll win. I owned that territory for 45 years, and it's just gone back to Japan without so much as a buy or leave. Well, that can't be allowed to stand. There. We'll arm the ships with 4-inch auto-loading guns. It'll just enable them to put out an incredible amount of firepower. And we'll just fill their magazines with about 300 rounds per gun, so they can afford to just bang away without burning through their magazines. That'll be hilarious. You're willing to fight Austria? I'm willing to fight everyone to get Hokkaido back. That's an insult that will not stand. Like, Russian control of Hokkaido has resulted in the deaths of Russian servicemen defending that which the Imperial Navy won for His Majesty. And then, because they contemplate talks of independence, and then basically blasé handle the rebellion that followed, Japan regains Hokkaido without firing a shot. All the while sitting cackling as they control some of Russia's finest warships that should belong to Russia. Why would I have 3-inch dual-purpose AA when I can have 4-inch dual-purpose AA as the primary battery? There we go. Okay. If Germany and France go to war, I'll be joining the... Oh, there we go. The British Empire's decolonizing. Russia may be about to pull ahead. No, be careful with raising tension, but I will accept a budget increase. It will enable the Russian fleet to regain its footing. And also start gradually building the new generation of Russian destroyers. In batches of 3. Especially as the light cruiser program finishes. Who's war broken out between? France and Germany. Right. There we go. I blame the Germans for everything. Look, I've actually managed to get the Admiral Gorshkovs into service. I've managed to get the Nizhny Novgorods into service. As far as I'm concerned, I am as close to ready for a showdown with... Where are you guys in Northern Europe? You are. Yeah. Northeast Asia is where the Grenghams are. Staring at the Japanese. Oh, the Kerch class are working up in the Baltic. As soon as they're ready, they need to transit to Northern Europe. We're going to war again, gentlemen. And this time, we will succeed. Victory will belong to the Tsarist fleet. And Japan will be put back in its rightful place beneath Russia. The Germans will be reminded why they survived so long was only down to Russian help during the Great War. And the rest of the world will be given a message that Russia's place at the table of the great powers is not something that can be denied to it. Speaking of, We have angled flight decks. Give me something with an angled flight deck. Oh, never mind. Anti-aircraft, 3-inch auto-loading, actually 4-inch auto-loading guns. It's a modern carrier. Radar-directed AA. That is not enough medium AA guns. It's a carrier. It should carry as much auto-loading AA and medium AA as it can physically lay its hands on. There we go. Yes, I'm aware it's excessive, but I don't care. I want my ships to be able to deal with any incoming air attack. I want to be able to fill the air with so much flak. Okay, so I need more destroyers. Additional pair of ships. Then another ship after that once the next cruiser of the line is finished. And then I need to consider laying down this a pair of large new Russian carriers to start slowly phasing out the old ones. There we go. Another pair of destroyers. Rising prosperity leads to increased oh, for the love of Mike, I don't need that right now. I push for an international force. Yes. Yeah, Germany, you cannot sit there and basically ignore me. First things first, have the Kerch class turn revolutions to Northern Europe. And have the Nizhny Novgorods make revolutions for Northeast Asia. Actually, no. Have the Nizhny Novgorod class head into the Mediterranean to form the core of a Mediterranean squadron. Have our fastest destroyers go with them. Along with our oldest carriers, just to provide some form of air wing over the Med. Our light carriers will stay in Northern Europe for now. Send our modern anti-aircraft destroyers, so anti-aircraft cruisers, to Northern Europe. Actually, no. Cancel those moves. Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh, we'll see what happens. Either way, I've got the modern destroyers coming, and these things will easily be able to deny. Like I don't think the Germans even have destroyers remotely close to these. Yeah, the Germans are still in the 1,000-ton range. They've got some modern destroyers, but they've gone with heavy guns rather than actually thinking about what a modern destroyer needs. This is not very comic book, we think. No. Bear in mind, by the late communist period, the Russian fleet is basically naming things after Russian history, rather than. Yes, I will take the. I need the prestige more than I need the tension reduction. It also removes us from war warning with Germany and enables us to actually rapidly increase. Drop tension down a bit more, please. Just because I want to actually get. Okay, Murmansk is into the fleet. Very good. Okay, lay down the 2 carriers, please. Although, that being said, given my obsolescent destroyers, I should probably lay down more destroyers. and do a complete fleet replacement of as many destroyers as below 2,000 tons as I can. Concentrate the older ships in the Mediterranean to form a Mediterranean squadron around the 2 pocket battle cruisers that we have. In fact, I may just do that. Bring in the Russo-Japanese class, and what we're going to do is we're going to clear their torpedo tubes away, fit them with minesweeping gear, fit them with anti-submarine rockets and mortars, fit them with depth charge throwers. We're going to make their 4-inch guns auto-loading, dual-purpose and increased elevation. We're going to replace their machinery with reliable diesel engines. And we are going to make sure they've got at least 1 AA director and a couple of medium AA guns to turn them into the next generation of corvettes. Well, it's fair, it doesn't need AA. There we go, that'll do. Ah, it doesn't even need a thing. That'll do. Honestly, it doesn't. Okay, yeah, it just needs a radar limit of 2. It doesn't even need the best radar. It's a Corvette. Like, does it have sonar? If answer is yes, error. Superimposed turrets for this ship type. Oh well, yeah. So get rid of the aft gun. Well, now we can probably fit at least 1 central rangefinder. That's fine. Drag them in. For 10 months, refit them. The thing is, there's the bunch of 1,100 tonners that I built that are still forming the backbone of the Northeast Asian of the Pacific Fleet's destroyers. The Mediterranean Fleet has a bunch of these vessels, which are Russia's best destroyers currently. They're quick 38 knotters. And I built them to be that quick, so they could stay in service without needing too many refits. And they'll be alright. But the Grozny class are probably going to need to come in for a refit. Although the Vrazny class will probably need it first. So central rangefinder will refit their engines just to refresh them. Give them a pair of advanced directors. Give them 1 AA director, a single AA gun, and that should be enough to keep them relevant, at least into the future, so they can be refitted as well. It keeps our destroyers at least relevant. Not full Russia-boo. It's just, well, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I've got the modern destroyers building. Give me just a second. I'll be right back, folks. Don't die on me. Someone's knocking at my door. For me to actually build the fleet. Well, our battleship program is bearing fruit. Along with our next generation battlecruiser program, we will use it to embarrass the USA, basically because that gives us more. Well, you know. So Gangat is the flagship of the Northeast Asian fleet, but she alone will not be enough to deal with the Japanese fleet. She would be, were it not for the injection of ships they got from the Russian Navy. Admiral Gorshkovs and the Murmansks are in the fleet now, so they're going to form the core of the European fleet with their massive 20-inch guns. Those were the guns I hoped to smash the Kriegsmarine with, but clearly it wasn't to be. The Kirches are in with their 18-inch guns. And we've got their half-sisters being built. Which is fine. So that's 4 battleships and 4 battle cruisers with big guns. And we've still got the old the old slow ships to guard the Baltic against the Germans. With 6-inch dual-purpose guns, which I do find very, very funny. Maybe now they'll finally bloody hit something. Dear. I'm going to rotate the modern 6-inch cruisers of the fleet back into the Baltic for reworking whenever there's time and space, to try and bring them up to speed with the latest developments in radar. Okay, you know the drill, folks. Send the incompetent people to Switzerland. That's how we do things here. Knight. Our relations with the USA are very cordial. I could afford to raise tension a little bit. Yeah, the Yak-38 forger is not even going to enter the fleet, Knight. We're a Cato-Bar. We are going to become a Cato-Bar carrier force. We've been operating carriers in the Russian Navy since the carrier became a thing. We were the first nation, if you look back at the previous streams, to use carriers in an offensive role during the Great War, which was between, if I check my... Yes, I will actually take another modern destroyer. Gentlemen, I'm sorry, you know what I have to do when faced with Japanese ships. These rust buckets with indifferently trained sailors and indolent officers are no match for our navy, because we've seen it demonstrated 4 times. The Japanese ship and the Japanese sailor are no match for their Russian counterpart. So it's 1950. And I have a question. Do I lay down a few more classes of battleship and carrier, or do I instead build one last massive class of carrier? Ah, there we go, super carriers. Well, that's quite good. But I do feel like removing the battleship and the battlecruiser from the fleet this early is not a good idea. Not when there are... Well, how do I put this gently? Not when there are... well, you know... battleships and battlecruisers across the world. Excellent. This will guarantee the security of our nation. Excellent. That's put me right where I want to be. So, we've got the rebuilds coming through. Now for the Grozny class. Now, the Groznys were the first modern destroyers of the Russian fleet. And it shows, basically. These are the ships that I personally believe should be allowed to actually carry some of the more modern equipment in the Russian fleet. Although I think they'll have to sacrifice their midships turret in order to actually remain relevant to fleet operations. Although they will gain a pair of light anti-aircraft guns and a medium radar-directed AA to support their dual-purpose 5-inch guns. And it still keeps the cost relatively low. For keeping them in the fleet. The Mediterranean force is okay. It's not too bad. The Boykis are the newest destroyers in the Russian fleet, but they were a step back from the Batrushdis class to a more reasonable, cheaper wartime destroyer. But that being said, they did serve admirably during the last war, and I see no reason to return them to obsolescence. Not when they can still serve. In the Russian Navy. There we go. It'll cost them a bit of speed, and then I'll probably get rid of their superimposed turret mount to make room for some radar-directed medium AA guns, because having none is not a good idea. There we go. Armor thickness of ½ inch is not allowed, at least make it 1 inch. In that case, then we'll have unarmored turrets. Fire control is not the best type available. Okay, there we go. Advanced directors. Fantastic. Topside. Oh, fine. 1 less medium AA gun, and then we'll give it light AA. There we go. Fantastic. There we go. So this not only increases our number of destroyers, but it also keeps some of our older units in the fleet for longer. Especially with our modern units coming in to operate in the home theatre, the most important theatre, that being Europe. Strong arms industry is the foundation for a strong navy. Allow it. Improved base capacity in Northern Europe. Very nice indeed. There we go. 2 ships have finished their working up. 2 new destroyers. And corvettes re-entering the fleet. Very nice indeed. Livico, the reason that I'm holding everyone in the active fleet is basically because I am waiting for a war with Germany. And I have been bitten too many times by taking the fleet into reserve and doing all that, and then having my face slapped across by a war I wasn't ready for, with ships not being where I want them to be. And also, as Russia, you can't put ships in reserve unless they're in the Baltic, and I have to maintain a large fleet in Northern Europe, and that fleet can't be in reserve. Because if a war starts and my ships are in reserve in the Baltic, I just get blockaded and killed because I don't have a fleet in Northern Europe. So unfortunately, I've got to keep a large fleet in active service. I don't really have a choice. I might look into angled decking the Sisoi Velikis. See if I can't give them diesel engines. So 6-inch guns, dual-purpose 6-inch guns. I can fit them with an auto-loader, but that will apparently cost an arm and a leg. So let's not do that. If I remove the light AA guns and instead give them radar-directed AA guns, that'll probably help as well. And auto-loading for the 3-inch, drop them down to 8 barrels. That'll do much nicely. Can I... Ship doesn't... I wake up. Angled flight deck. I want to see what happens if these... That's funny. That's... That's... No, not yet. Not yet. We'll angle deck those old ships soon, but not right now. There we go. So more of the fleet is coming off of the slips. Destroyer rebuild, the 1950, I just realised I'm basically framming my old destroyers. I'm basically doing fram cans. That's what I'm doing. I didn't even realise it until just now. Along with obviously the new build post-war destroyers that I have. There we go. So 5 levels of radar. Yep, 6-inch guns with auto-loaders. But I think, honestly, if we've got auto-loaders, I'm just saying drop the guns down to... singles. And use the extra weight to get more speed out of them. Maybe another pair of medium AA guns. There we go. Ooh, enhanced sonar system, me like. Yeah, drop a knot of speed off them. That'll do. Probably don't need an aft superimposed mount if we're entering this era of ship design. And probably don't need to carry mines, though I will carry mine sweeping gear aboard these ships. The Restovny class ships Oh, 6-inch dual purpose can't be used. Can I use 5-inch guns? In that case, I can probably re-add the aft superimposed mount. There we go. Actually, can we get the mounts that aren't super firing to be... Yes, we can! There we go, look at that. Nice! They're slower than the other ships, but we're entering the era where the destroyer does start to slow down a bit. If you all, as I'm sure you're aware, in the post-war period, the destroyer does start to slow down a bit. There we go. So we've got the rebuilds happening, the greater increase in size of dockyards. Honestly, I'm enjoying this actually long period of peace that I hadn't actually planned for. And luckily, 20 additional... I will build you half that number of submarines. Yes, I will actually build you half that number of submarines, but I will make them all of the... Actually, how much can I... you know what? I can probably do more coastal boats for work inshore in the Pacific. So I'll build 10 new coastal boats. There we go. There we are. Very nice. So we've got the new anti-submarine vessels. Foreign station tonnage is okay. Modern cruisers. I do feel like it's time, though, to finally have the old cruisers of the Sapphire class bow out as foreign station ships, finally. They've been in service for nearly 50 years. And instead, their place will be taken by the Izmirud class ships. Instead. In regards to the Far East, I will probably... Again, so we will rebuild these ships. Make sure their guns are auto-loading 6-inch guns now. Get rid of their light AA battery. Give them radar-directed AA guns. Make sure they can carry the absolute latest and greatest in radar. Make sure they're 3-inch auto-loading AA guns. And they can carry a float plane, can't they? I think so, but just in case they can't, let me just... A single float plane... Oh no, they can't, there's no point. That would actually bring them over the tonnage I want. That's fine, though, I think. Dual mounting is not allowed for triple or quad mounts. Oh, okay. Actually, can I... If I decrease that to a dual mount, would that actually... Oh. Whoops. Okay, so never mind. No dual-purpose guns, just singles. Okay, that's fine. It's a costly rework, but it's worth it to keep them in service, because it's less time than actually building new cruisers. I don't have the time to build new cruisers. I need the ones we've got to be in service. There we go. I don't think we're far away from getting the last of the battle cruisers as well. New naval patrol aircraft. Very nice. Massively increase in range is what we want. The British medium supermarine Beverly. Oh, that's a funny name. Admiral Isakovs are nearly ready. Probably need to consider what's... Well, in 4 turns, when they're actually... No, thank you. Hainan is strong. Hainan is basically a vital part of our possessions in China. Yes, go for the win, because it's also Spain. I literally don't care. Like, there we go. Okay, keep working through the things. There we are. So, yep, we'll be able to decide what's going to be probably a 4-ship class of battleships. Probably the last large armoured ships the Russian Navy built. Although saying that, I'm leading the Russian Navy, so who knows. There we go. Carrier Battle Group. Yakovlev Company. Ooh! Yak's been cooking! Look at that, boys! Yak has been cooking! Very nice! Yeah, low crew quality. Maybe we could design a new foreign station cruiser? Probably some form of colonial gunboat. Or new form of colonial gunboat. Probably better. There we go. New docks completed. Excellent. Send a gunboat. I don't want to send too much tension. People are amazed we're still operating the airships. The airships have done well for us. And besides, they're cheap to run. We could not... Yes, please. I want a helicopter that is reliable and reliable, please. Okay, so that gives us 46,000 tons. I'm going to develop new dockyards again, but I do want to consider what I can build with 46,000 tons. With 46,000 tons and speed-focused diesel engines, I can probably... Because 20... So if I go for 20... So where are we? The Murmansks. Okay, so let's have a look. So these are the Murmansks. If I go for speed-focused turbines, and I decide I want, let's say, 28 knots is fine, and I go for 46,000 tons, I might be able to actually get away with triple 20-inch guns. I can! Oh, that's beautiful. That's gorgeous. I love it. I actually love it. That's great. That's fantastic. That's just great. That's just hilarious. That's the most powerful battleship in the world. Oh, that's perfect. Well, it's only for the 20-inch ships. The magazine box it's kind of essential to get the 20-inch ships into the fleet. It's only a temporary measure. There we go. Okay, the Germans are getting pissy at me. Let them. I don't care. So the Kirches are in the fleet now. We've got the Admiral Isakovs coming into the fleet as well. Oh. 1 second, folks. I'll be right back. Someone's knocking on my door. Everybody wants to talk to Fleet. Right. Do I actually... Okay, that's that. What if I... Ooh, what if I say I want a ship with an angled deck? What will it give me then? No, no. I basically do this to get the superstructure. Ooh, that's quite funky. That's got deck edge lifts, and that's actually within our... Probably carry 90 aircraft, and actually at that point then armour the flight deck a bit. And armour the hangar a bit. If we use oil and turbines, that's fine. 29 knots. Actually, no. Give me 80 aircraft, but give me a speed of 33 knots. There we go. Drop the light AA guns. Give me 3-inch give me 4-inch auto loaders, but have them be single mounts only. No, you're going to have heavy ship-to-ship missiles. And then have the rest be radar-guided anti-aircraft guns. Probably drop the belt armor to 2.5 inches. There we go. The Kazan-class carriers. Excellent. And then we'll lay down a pair of battleships and a pair of carriers. Although I might do a battleship and 3 carriers. And then what we'll do is we'll repeat that the next build cycle as well. Japan, I blame you for everything. Always. You know this. Yeah, I think I'll lay down a single battleship and then 3 carriers, and then we'll repeat that the next cycle. Look, don't make me move ships to Asia, please. I really don't want to. There are more important things right now, like, you know, the Germans breathing down my throat. Oh, stop, please. Oh, speaking of which, I probably need to move our modern destroyers into Northern Europe to work with our new battle fleet. Now we've still got the. Nah, that worked up enough. I can't keep them in here much longer. What with war warnings with Germany basically on the horizon all the time. I just have to hope that the Japanese have been Nope. They still have the Russian ships. And they still have their modern-ish cruisers that they're building, including more of them. It's annoying, but somewhat disconcerting. Yeah, 8 inches of engine armor. It's back so soon. Yeah, it basically is. Let me see. When show history. So we had the Battle of Fusan, Battle of Surigao Strait, Battle of Medina Bay, Battle of basically a bunch of battles which were mostly Russian. The first war was very much a mixed bag against Japan. Then we had the short war with France, and then we had the second Russo-Japanese. So first Russo-Japanese war was 1895 to 1897, victory. Second Russo-Japanese war was a wipe against the Japanese fleet, and that was during the early Dreadnought period. The third Russo-Japanese war was the one that we just had, which was between us, Austria, and Japan, and they got their teeth kicked in. Then we had the unsuccessful war against the evils of fascism, which unfortunately the Germans won. And now we're here. In terms of fleet tonnage, the Russian fleet is one of the smaller fleets, but is steadily on the rise again. And there was a period, if you look, where we were the third largest fleet in the world. Economically, Russia is actually climbing our way up. We're on the verge of actually surpassing everyone that isn't the United States of America. This is where we start to come into our own, because we're not Soviet Russia. Our economy doesn't stagnate, it absolutely explodes in this period. Okay, I'll accept that, Great Britain, because you're Great Britain. Unfortunately, that has basically ruined my plan to build. So it'll have to be a battleship and 2 carriers. Oh no, I can get the third in once the cruiser rebuilds finish. I'll actually take a prestige hit as well to get some more budget to enable me to actually do that. So again, we'll have the third carrier under construction. And I may actually be able to build 2 battleships and... Actually, yes, I can. I could build 2 battleships. No, I probably shouldn't do that. I probably shouldn't do that. Instead, I should probably build a new class of light cruiser. Probably one armed with some form of missiles. Yes, it has 2 missiles. Okay, that's fantastic. Carries 6-inch auto-loading guns, which is good. Try and go for 6,000 tons, please. Inclined belt, diesel engines. Try and give me 31 knots. No armoured conning tower, please. Missiles don't care about that. 1 inch of deck armour. Again, missiles don't really care about that. That's fine. There we go. All or nothing. That's okay. Light AA isn't really needed here. Medium AA is. Yep, I know. Give me reliability on the engines, because that will make sure that these ships will last a long time. There we go. Give me 7 medium AA mounts, and there we go. Good amount of that. That's all fine. Give me a single helicopter hangar for a single aircraft, and give me a aft centerline catapult. Put it right there. There we go. Okay, fantastic. And so we will... Oh, hang on. Drop a pair of... There we go. Fantastic. Brilliant. Huge. Brilliant. And we'll build probably a quartet of those. Just to try, because we've had the modern... we've had the modern destroyer program. We've had the modern... send the Minsks out to the Far East, along with half of the anti-aircraft cruisers. There we go. That'll do for now. Bring some of the rebuilt AA cruisers out of the Baltic to Northern Europe to replace them. There we go. So we've got the rebuild destroyers serving there and there. The Mediterranean fleet has its destroyers, and now I'm just waiting for the and obviously these ships will be the first ships to carry jet aircraft in the Russian fleet, and we're at a war warning with the Reich, but that's to be expected. I need to drink something, because if I don't drink something I will lose my voice. Okay. So obviously the question is, of course, how many of these ships can we... so 2 ships which are waking up. No thank you. I'm not looking to build anything with a gun smaller than... Ooh! On the one hand, the MiGs and other things are very nice, but the Kamov... it's a Kamov helicopter, so I honestly feel like it's kind of... I have to go for it. But also, it's very maneuverable and very tough. So, I'm actually okay with that. Okay, how many of these light cruisers can we build? Oh, we can build 6? Okay, then. Let's build 6 of them at once. At this point, the Germans are getting nervous. Because... yeah, I've actually outpaced them economically now. My budget is basically running away with it. The Germans are operating a rapidly aging fleet. Yeah, none of their battleships are newer than 1942. Yeah, they have been building new carriers, but they're small and carry few aircraft. It's, I don't like the chances, Chief. Calm down, Russian people, it's fine. Yes, please. Jet attack aircraft. I want range and bomb load, please. Presumably they'll carry anti-ship missiles or torpedoes. Oh, come on! Your Imperial Majesty, with the politest possible sense, the real threat isn't... Yep, there it is! Okay. Well, that happened suddenly. Because it's not a war in which... I don't think... do the Germans have a Mediterranean possession? No, they do not. Okay, so in that case, then... Can we stage ships in the Indian Ocean? Oh, we can, of course, because Madagascar's here. So in that case, then, let me just... I think I'll actually stage those ships out to the Far East quickly. So let me just get the Mediterranean squadron. And... actually, we'll keep the 2 old carriers in the Mediterranean and have them protect trade in the Mediterranean from roving submarines. But I'll stage the Mediterranean squadron out to the Far East to back up our frankly outnumbered forces in that region. We've got the modern units of the Russian fleet, including all 4 of our modern battleships and 4 of our modern battle cruisers in Northern Europe, so the Germans will not be able to blockade us. We also have modern anti-aircraft cruisers in Northern Europe as well. And I'm actually going to very rapidly bring our most modern cruisers to Northern Europe now they've all worked up. We've also got all of Russia's modern destroyers in Northern Europe. I'm quietly confident that with the amount of corvettes we have, along with putting some of our older, one of our carriers into trade protect... Oh no, that won't work either. Oh, that's right, yeah, the older destroyers, the ones I just didn't get round to rebuilding. There we go. There we go. Brilliant. Alright, fantastic. It's not ideal, but it's definitely better than nothing. The problem with the German fleet is it's bloated, and a lot of the ships in it are not actually worth much. So, for example, a good chunk of the German ships, means these vessels, are all treaty ships. 18,000 tonners that aren't worth anything in modern combat. The rest, 1, 2, 3, 4 battleships and 5 battle cruisers, the Russian fleet's current offerings are far superior to. To be blunt, gentlemen, the German fleet hasn't got a hope in hell. And we're back to war again. The enemy is unable to challenge our forces. What's that? Enemy destroyer raid into the Gulf of Finland. Attack enemy ships in general. I mean, they'd have to be very silly to actually operate in here. Really quite silly. I'm just going to go home and let my aircraft do the work, because that's all I need to do. Oh, it's one of ours. That I don't think is one of ours. Oh, they have radar-directed guns. Oh, no, we need to not be here. Yes, please. Where are our night-capable aircraft? They should be here somewhere. The hang. Hey, do you want to go hang out? Hey! And our submarines are positioned to actually catch them as they leave. The Baltic's basically covered in Imperial Russian submarines. There we go. Keep going, boys. Keep going. It's going to be one of those interesting wars where... The thing is, if most of the German fleet is in the Baltic, then... Well, I mean, it's a bit silly of them to do it, but they can do it. Okay, okay, we know where they are. Let's get some airstrikes in the air from the air bases. Yep, there we go. There we go. Get the airstrikes in the air. Let's get them. Let's get them. Come on. Come on, Russian aircraft. Let's do it. Hit them with the missiles and the glide bombs. Let's do it. Let's hit them hard. There we go. Come on. Let's hit them. Let's hit them right in the old face. Until their face stops resembling a face. Ha! Just... Oh yeah. Hey, we raided into the Gulf of Riga. Good. What happened? We managed to sink a gunboat and a submarine. What did it cost us? One of our large modern destroyers. Ah. Oh, good lord. Hang on. So we're blockading the Germans. But the Germans are blockading us. So the Germans have basically left Northern Europe to blockade us in the Baltic. We've got the old battleships in the Baltic and some of the older cruisers, so it's not completely undefended. Okay. A cruiser action. Excellent. Oh, it's 3 of Russia's modern... Add 1 ship. Yes, I want all 4 of my battle cruisers, please. Oh, this is going to be fun. Please, please, please let this be a chance to kill a good chunk of German battle cruisers. Please let this be a chance. I will actually pay good money if this is a chance to kill some... Oh, yep, the recon aircraft have found something. Increase speed to 31 knots. Let's go get them. Okay, apparently they were somewhere... Okay, there they are. Okay. Come back here. Hey, Germany. How do you like 18-inch gunfire? Oh... It's so good to hear those big 18-inch guns finally roar into life. And the Germans have 15-inch guns. We have 18s. And we perhaps can just about resist your guns. You can't resist our guns. Our guns are going to absolutely tear you a certified new side of your ship. We also have 1 extra battle cruiser, which means one of our ships is unengaged. Ain't that lovely? Again, the curse of the Russian battleship rears its ugly head. Again, we're having jammed turrets all the time. Ah, well... Oh my god! Finally, all of my work is rewarded. We're sinking an enemy capital ship by gunfire, and doing so decisively. Oh my lord, it's beautiful. Oof, those 18-inch shells do not mess around. Yep, thank you! Oh. That's beautiful. Just... Okay, seriously, what hit rates are my battle cruisers getting? $13 or 18-inch hits. Yeah, the Hindenburg is basically not having a good day. Destroyers are going in for a torpedo attack. No, thank you. We don't have to catapult launch any float planes now. Yes, she can stop to recover a float plane. Yep. Everyone can stop to recover float planes. We're literally just pounding Hindenburg into scrap. And she's dead. And wait for everyone to recover their float planes. And, oh, here they come again for round 2. Germany, I've just sunk one of your battle cruisers. My ships are virtually undamaged. And you want to come back in for round 2. I mean, I admire your bravery, but not the stupidity of whatever admiral's in command. You've just seen what my 18-inch guns do to your 15-inch armed battle cruisers, and you want to have another crack. Wow, I'm surprised the chat's not said anything. Guys, you're just seeing everything bear fruit. Say something, please. Come on. One big 18-inch shell hit into the engine rooms. Come on. That's it. Come on. Put that Stendhal class down. Actually, we've got plenty of ammunition, just about. Yeah, I know. Come back here. Come back here. Oh. Oh, come on. A few good hits is all we need to slow it down enough to overhaul it and put it down. Oh, that's a flotilla attack. Possible submarine. Oh dear. That's not ideal. If they're going to run broadside to us, turn and engage. Yeah, never mind. Turn away. Honestly, we're running out of ammunition, and to tell you the truth, we've managed to sink one of the German battle cruisers that entered the action this day, then probably crippled one of the other ones, or at least made it so that she won't put to sea for a while. I'd call that fairly successful. Yep, there we go. One extremely heavily damaged, one sunk. Battle of North Cape. How do you have a mutiny when we've just won one of the finest actions in Russian history? Yes. I will actually accept that, France. I will accept an alliance. Spain, you really don't want this smoke. You really, really do not want to get involved in this, Spain. I can promise you. You really do not want to get involved in this. This is the big boy club. You are not a player-controlled Spain. A player-controlled Spain might be able to get involved in this. You are not... You're not ready for this. Rip Germany. Yeah, wow, I accepted an alliance. Well, the thing is, in this particular case, it makes sense because it means that I can probably send ships into the Baltic to break the German blockade. So we've got a bunch of our modern cruisers and a bunch of our destroyers. It can shift the war? Maybe. Attack enemy ships in general, please. We need to... Okay, so the enemy... So if they're bringing destroyers, we're probably actually quite well placed with our... Especially with our modern cruisers. I don't know what the Japanese are bringing, that's the thing. Torpedoes in the water. Oh, that's right. These are the rebuilds of the Rione class serving in the Far East. And we're loosing torpedoes at them because we have actually probably better radar than they do. Hit by a missile? Good lord. Oh great, the Japanese have missiles. This is no good. Enemy targeting radar. The Japanese seem to have missiles, the Germans don't. Here was me thinking this was going to be a war that would be very similar to the ones we fought before, but no, it's the age of the missile. Oh, good lord. There's nothing she can do. That was... What is firing those missiles? Something clearly must be. Not their destroyers, they're not capable of it. Must be something else. Kizakami class? No, that's a conventional light cruiser. Albeit a very potent one. No, that's a very conventional modern heavy cruiser. I'm not surprised. She took 3 missiles like an absolute champ. Yeah, the problem is, with my forces tied up in Europe, there's very little I can do to sort of send out to the Far East. I've got some ships that can actually kill those heavy cruisers coming in, my battle cruisers. As in the... And where are the Grengams? The Grengams are out here in the Far East. Where are they? I know the problem is submarines can convoy raid, but I've got so much ASW, it's kind of silly. It's something I've built up over time. Being aware of how vulnerable Russia is to blockade in Rule the Waves. I know it's not vulnerable to blockade in real life. Blockades actually don't really work against Russia. But in Rule the Waves, they're very vulnerable to it. The 14-inch guns of Battery 14 are engaging. That'll make them think twice. Yeah, go Battery 14. Use those big 14-inch rifles. That'll make them think twice. Oh, it's hitting targets. Oh, please let the 14-inch gun battery actually kill something. That would be hilarious. Don't tell me the Japanese have brought a carrier to this engagement. That shouldn't be possible. Okay, LA-135's coming in. Yeah, I think the Japanese have brought a carrier. Don't know where it is, but they've brought a carrier. Oh, jet aircraft. Good lord, this is insane. They must have a carrier somewhere. This is insane. It's madness. I have 4 carriers in this region, and yet even I'm terrified of what might be. You wonder why I've been covering my ships in anti-aircraft guns. This is why! Oh, good lord. This is honestly very silly. Oh my goodness. Well, one of their heavy cruisers was very badly damaged by our coastal battery. Yeah, they have 2 carriers. No wonder I was never going to win that fight. My own carriers simply weren't present. Yes. Ah, okay. Early service to air missiles. There we go. Yes, I'm aware. Let me see, how many... Oh yeah, the Spanish have 91 submarines. That's kind of silly. Question is, how many of them are decent boats? How many of them are old? Mine-laying. Yeah, most of them are fairly new. Oh no, none of them were built before. None of them are electro boats, so we should be able to deal with them relatively effectively. We're bringing in new forces to the south, to Southeast Asia. With the destruction of one of Germany's battle... Let me see, how many... Okay, so how much of the German fleet is in the Baltic? Pretty much all. Okay. So most of Germany's battle cruisers are in the main... Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to commit the... so how many of the... So, 1 light carrier. So I am going to commit the majority of the heavy assets that aren't battle cruisers of the Northern Fleet to lifting the blockade of Russia. By sending them into the Baltic. I'll leave some of the destroyers, but most of the fleet will be heading into the Baltic to lift the blockade. And attempt... Why can't I go into the... Are you telling me I can't send ships into the Baltic to lift the blockade of the Baltic, despite blockading the Germans? What? Action with light forces. Well, it's one of our modern light cruisers, so that's something. And we are operating near some of our home bases. The problem I'm concerned with is what exactly the Germans are throwing at us. If it's light forces, it may just be one of their light cruisers. And if it is, then I'm probably certain that the Kremchuk can kill it. I mean, after all, she has these new auto-loading 6-inch guns. And extremely good radar-directed fire control. She's also a full-on light cruiser in the way these destroyers simply are not. And there's no substitute for what is in essence a full-on light cruiser fighting destroyers, even if they are more modern ships. Especially with these new auto-loading 6-inch guns. They kick ass! Oh, torpedoes in the water. That's it. Radar fire control, boys. Radar fire control. That's the way. Boom. Another one stopped and probably sinking. Now it's time for the third one to die. Come on. Use those big 16-inch guns. Yes, come on. Show me why the refit was worth it. It was... Yes! I knew that refit was worth it. Yes! Oh well. I knew that refit was worth it. I wasn't sure whether it was worth it, but no, that refit of those ships was worth it. Entirely worth it. And the Minsks are out in Northeast Asia right now. So we probably... Yeah, we probably need a new class of corvette. Diesel engines. Probably no more than... No armor, it's an ASW corvette. There we go, 900 tonner. Yep, upgrade the main guns, auto-loaders, as advanced fire control kit as we can give it. Give it a pair of radar-directed AA. Let it carry the best radar we've got. In fact, can corvettes carry... Yes, they can! You let it carry a single seaplane carrier. Sorry, a single helicopter. There we go. This will massively aid them in being anti-submarine hunters. They only cost 200 to build. They're not quite converted fishing trawlers, but they're more useful than converted fishing trawlers. Especially in this more modern conflict. Oh, I don't know about this. We're operating off Hokkaido, but we don't own Hokkaido anymore. Why are we here? I'm not sticking around, I'll tell you that much. I'm running away from this fight. Operating this close inshore to the Japanese home islands? It's suicide! Crank speed up to 30 knots and get us the blazes out of here. Oh, good lord. Missiles. I'm gonna fire the Russian admiral who thought this was a good idea. Order the brave Russian destroyers in. Buy our cruisers time to get away. I'm gonna crucify whatever admiral thought that was a good idea. Of course she capsizes. She's been hit by like 5 missiles. It's not very ideal, this, I tell you. Still, it's a much better war than the one we were starting this session with, tell you the truth. There we go. Yes, I do. 2 armoured cruisers. Good lord, no wonder we got our teeth kicked in. Yes, I do want to retire him. Well. Oh, please. Oh, yes. Okay, yep, I will build 10 of them. So we've got the 3 carriers, the new battleship, war builds or not, they're still vital. Spain must have decommissioned their... Oh no, they haven't built their new carrier, they must be on pause. What are the French bringing to the fight? Some newer battle cruisers, but nothing really fantastic. Some new cruisers with heavy anti-ship missiles, which are being carried by our new Vesta class-like cruisers that'll be filtering into the fleet soon. I am tempted to drag in the Murmansks. Can they be fitted with anti-ship missiles, I wonder? Nope. Can I fit them with SAMs? I can. A single heavy SAM launcher, aft. That would work. But that's for another time. We've been going for about 2 hours, and I think that's time to call it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. You've seen us through a fair period of peacetime, but now, gentlemen, we enter the missile era, fully, for the first time ever. And I hope that you're as excited as I am to see where this takes us. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. Obviously, don't forget to tune in tomorrow for the premiere of Fleet Fumbles Empire at War Part 3, and I hope that that video is something you enjoy as well.